Yo, what's up folks, TCG here, coming at you with Goblins in Explorer. It's a deck that's been around for a while, has changed like a little bit, but not overly much, but it's not a super popular deck, but is one that is quite strong. In fact, I've come up against it and lost to it recently in a couple of recent videos. You have a creature type synergy deck, and you get to take advantage. I'll start with the mana base here and work our way backwards, because the first thing I've noticed is that there are no Mutavaults. You do have triple red, lots of double red, and so a lot of time you're going to be able to cast multiple 1-drops. And so unfortunately the deck can't really afford to play it. However, you do get to take advantage of some quite nice lands. You have Den of the Bugbear, which of course is a goblin and makes goblins, along with Castle Ember to pump your tokens and your goblins. So the deck does go wide very, very well. And you also have Ramanap Ruins. Hey, yeah, enough said really. Like, you do actually have quite a lot of uses for your mana in this deck, and it does have some good mana sinks, or ways to at least generate card advantage, so you don't necessarily need to rely on Ramanap Ruins, but it is there, and it is kind of nice to have. Okay, so the actual goblins of the deck. We've got 4 Scarlet Prospector, 4 Foundry Street Denizen, 4 Fireblade Charger, and 4 Fanatical Firebrand. And each of these are kind of like something specialist, really. Foundry Street Denizen is the one that does the most damage. Just simply +1/+0 when another red creature enters the battlefield you control, whether that be on a 1-drop. You go count up the curve. You've got a couple of different cards between Battlecry Goblin and Squee that make tokens as well. Obviously, we talked about the Den of the Bugbears, but you can pump out quite a lot of damage with Foundry Street Denizen very, very quickly. Scarlet Processor makes mana, but also gives some extra utility and lets you take advantage of a couple of extra cards. So, like, occasionally you'll want to be like, okay, I'm going to make an early 3-drop. Generally, if you're doing that, it's probably going to be Squee, because obviously Squee, as it's making goblins anyway, it kind of synergizes really, really well with the Prospector. The Fireblade Charger is another interesting addition, because we don't have things like Legion Loyalist in Explorer yet. Maybe soon. Probably not for at least 8 months, but, you know, hey, whatever. In combination with Scarlet Prospector, you can kind of snipe things off. It gives you some nice interaction versus things like Llanowar Elves, Elvish Mystic, Arnie Mana creatures. And you can also snipe off bigger things, because obviously it does scale again. You've got a couple of different lords coming up in here. And then, yeah, kind of acts as that extra copy, potentially, of Fanatical Firebrand. Very, very straightforward. It's either a Frenzy Goblin, just one with haste, or you can use it to ping creatures. One of the nice things about Goblins is that it does have like a natural advantage against decks with a bunch of low toughness creatures. Things like Spirits, again, things like Elves, you just have a bunch of cards that are very, very good against, just naturally anyway, and you get to play them, and they synergize really well with the other cards in your deck. So these are kind of your 1-drop. So what actually makes the deck tick? We'll start off with Rundveld Hordemaster, 2 mana 1/1, but Goblin Lord. And then whenever it or another goblin dies, exit top card of your library. If it's a goblin creature card, you can cast a card until the end of your next turn. We're going to run back to Scarlet Prospector here, where you can sacrifice goblins to add red mana, and all of a sudden you have a bit of a card advantage, especially when you have multiples in play. Obviously, it gives you something versus control decks, where, hey, you can wrath me, but I'm going to get a bunch of stuff to do on my next turn with it. Along with just being a lord, which is great already. Battlecry Goblins, a bit of an innocuous one. 2 mana 2/2. 1 in a red, goblins you control get +1/+0 and gain haste on a turn, which is actually a really important ability for the deck, but in conjunction with its pack tactics, whenever it attacks, if you attack with creatures with total power 6 or greater, make a 1/1 that's tapped and attacking. And so it lets your deck really, really pump out goblins and go wide very well. Snoop is one of those kind of, hey, if we have like had like X or Y card, like it does enable some combo stuff in older formats, but here it's largely just playing it for card advantage. Play the top card of your library revealed, cast goblin spells on top of your library, kind of like a Realm Walker style effect. Get the future sight for goblins, but as long as the top card of your library is a goblin, it has all the activated abilities, which occasionally comes up, whether that be Scarlet Prospector or the Fanatical Firebrand. Occasionally, like, it gives you the activated ability on Battlecry Goblin. Like, there's some nice synergies, but largely is predominantly like a card advantage engine. And then 3 is kind of where the deck shines. You've got 2 copies of Squee. When it attacks, create a 1/1 goblin creature tapped and attacking. Just lets you build up an army. And then also has the kind of late game effect to be able to come back from the graveyard, pay 3 in a red, exile 4 of the cards from your graveyard, rather than paying its normal mana cost. And yeah, is very nice, again, versus like grindy, like either mid-range or control decks. Goblin Warchief, of course, gives all your goblins haste, but also makes them cheaper, which is relevant for some of them, like you've got like the Horde Master, the Backcry Goblin, the Battle Lord. It's like a little discount, but predominantly it's the, hey, give all your things haste, which is obviously really good, and with Snoop as well, we're just going to cast a bunch of cards to your library. It's great. Immediately comes down, it does 2 damage, but then makes all your other cards better. 4 copies of Hobgoblin Bandit Lord. We're kind of maxed out on our Goblin Lords here between Horde Master and Hobgoblin. But has this other ability here where it deals damage equal to the number of goblins into the battlefield and you control this turn to any target. Which gives you some interactions that doesn't necessarily always have access to, and just being another lord when you're going wide with either Battlecry Goblin, Squee, just dumping a bunch of creatures into play off Snoop, whatever. And then the last thing is you've got 2 copies of Goblin Chain Whirler. There, I do believe, are 2 more in the sideboard. There are matchups where this card is just excellent, again, versus decks which have like lots of low toughness creatures, be that, again, elves, spirits, picks off planeswalkers. It's great versus like Red Black Sacrifice. This is just, yeah, it's great, but you don't want it everywhere. Other than that, it's just a 3-mana 3/3 reverse strike. But there are decks where that deal 1 to everything ability is just brutal. And then we went through the mana base already. Let's have a look at the sideboard and then we'll hop into some ranked games. We've got 4 copies of Rending Volley. Yeah, does what it says on the tin. Kills Greasefang, kills angels, kills spirits. White and blue creatures, get them dead. Enough said, really. 3 copies of Unlicensed Hearth to give you some graveyard interaction. We've got a couple of Obliterating Bolts, kind of like a catch-all removal spell to play. And then we've got 4 copies of Fable the Mirror Breaker for those like slower, grindier matchups. The nice thing about Fable is because you either have like enters the battlefield kind of effects, be that like triggering Foundry Seat Denizen, like all these goblins synergize really well, and so making copies of them is just really great. Obviously the token it comes in itself is a goblin, and yeah, hey, if you get to go Reflection, then you can really start popping off. The other thing is that with Battlecry Goblin, you can start activating the Reflection the turn it comes, the turn it flips, rather than having to wait a turn on that too. It's pretty powerful. And then lastly, those 2 extra copies of Goblin Chain Whirler, where it's good, it's great, and you want as many as possible, but there are a bunch of places where it's like, okay, it's fine, it's just like a 3-mana 3/3. So hey, let's hop into rank matches. And if you're interested in Explorer content, please do subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Maybe like the video. If you've got decks you want to see, please let me know in the comments to try and cover as many decks in Explorer as possible. Other than that, I will see you in some ranked games. Alright. First match. We have to be on the play. Fairly strong hand. Like, creatures and spells. You've got enough 1-drops that you should always have one. I say that. We'll see. Even more lands than we maybe desire, but hey. They're on Karuga as well, which implies Karuga Fires. Means we're not going to get great value off of the Firebrand's ability. We just find it just like beat down here. We want to try, I think, and play the Snoop this time. The Battlecry Goblin is better off later in the game, where you can just activate the ability more. And the Scoop, we want to basically try and get as many things off it, card advantage-wise, before we start facing down the more powerful things out of the Karuga deck. One notable thing is generally, like, Karuga Fires lists don't play tons of rats. But they do have other good interaction, be that Bone Crusher Giant, Prismatic Ending, the likes of those. They maybe sometimes have like a Supreme Verdict. But the lists I've seen recently really only tend to play 1. We'll see how that holds up. Okay. Alright. We have a Snoop, which will play off Snoop. I'm just going to see if we get a 1-drop here. We don't, so I'm fine to play the Bugbear. I'm going to melee in. Let's go. Not doing anything particularly like super speedy here. Next time we can threaten to go Battlecry Goblin activate. Okay, so I'm gonna kill one of the Snoops for their turn though. Here, oh never mind. We get the Horde Master out, which prevents us a bit versus Wraths, and then we should just play the card top of the library to keep as many cards in hand as possible. And so we will do that here. The War Chief, also a nice pickup. Let's see then. They're stuck on 2 lands, so this is probably gonna be it. We'll see though. Okay. Alright, that exiles the War Chief. Gonna draw a Snoop for turn. Can't play the land off the top. May as well do this. I'll play Battlecry Goblin. These all have haste and see here. Taking tokens. Yeah. That and like between the pump ability, which pumps all your goblins and can enable the pat tactics. Background Goblin is pretty good. So versus fires, what do I want? I don't love Chain Whirler. It doesn't do a ton here. I'm not that bothered about the graveyard stuff. I would quite like to get these Fables in the deck, just so that we can be a little bit selective. And then the Firebrands and Flame Charges aren't the greatest. I'm trying to work out if I want to have a couple of Obliterating Bolts around. You have Bone Crusher Giant as well. I think I kind of would. We're kind of just being a little beefier, but with a bit more resilience. So I think I'm gonna cut the Firebrands because the charges do still scale well. Firebrand's up to nothing, whereas Charger, because it grows with the Lords and everything, does have more purpose. Try to think. We go 2 and 2. Firebrand a taste, which is nice. I think I'm going to do this. Just because there's nothing it's really picking off, it's just a Frenzy Goblin. And other cards are quite good. Alright, we took a quick game while our opponent stumbled pretty hard, but they had a couple of Bone Crusher Giants, but they just didn't hit that third land to get their hand going. Ooh, we get the Nomad and Cassambra's hand. We have a bunch of 1-drops to take advantage of here. We'll leave with the Foundry Street Denizen, try and milk as much damage out of it as possible. We did draw a mountain, which is nice. Try and go 1-drop, 1-drop, 1-drop into Hobgoblin Lord, and try and dodge something like a Deathling Clarion. I don't know if we should try and play around it. That's what I'm currently thinking about. We drew another Hobgoblin Lord. I think playing these out still pretty good here. They might have a Bone Crusher Giant. If we do, we get to sacrifice in response at least. Stop them getting the Giant half. We'll see what's up. We'll see what's up. Alright. We're going to see a Fable. We're going to see... Add Karuga. Means they likely have like... I read to say they have like Fire's Wrath next time. So, what does that look like? This is basically like a do we want to extend onto the board here. So if we play Hobgoblin Lord in 2, 4, 7, puts them down to 10, then they're going to take 2 off of this, go down to 8, and we can like maybe make The problem is keeping the Hobgoblin Lord, if they have the Wrath, like we're going to play 1 and then still have 1 stuck in our hand. Not have much to do. Like if our plan for the next 2 turns after getting Wrath is Lord, then I think we just lose. So I'm going to play like they don't have the Wrath. We're not in the worst situation if they do. But, okay. We'll see. They can't cast Verdict at least. Oh, I'd say that. No, they do have the Fires. No, they can Verdicts, they have the lands. Alright. Oh, interesting. Normally when you see an Enigmatic Incarnation, you see it in Yorion. Because Yorion's so good just getting to reuse those effects. You maybe have a Yorion to tier up in the deck as well. Presumably they're going to go get something here so they don't die. I'm trying to think of what they're going to tier off for 5 on the deck, other than Yorion itself. I'm trying to remember what other 5s they play. I should be able to remember better, I think. Tolsmith. Tolsmith is great. That's annoying. They gain 3 life anyway, right? Like, do I want to fight? I want to do damage with this. And kill one of them. They gain 3 life, which is rough. I think that I do want to do this. We have an Obliterating Bolt for the Tolsmith itself. This is looking pretty scrappy. Oh, that's actually a really good draw. Get the Lord this way too. That way they get the Tolsmith exiled. And we're also getting cards if they have like some way to wipe up board. So if they have a land here, they can Karuga to draw some cards. And then Sack the crew. Well, actually, no. They need an enchantment to sacrifice away. Ooh, okay. Well, we'll see how this goes. Omnath's pretty solid. They got rid of the fires as well, so actually they can't double spell. Oh, they don't have the... You sack the enigmatic? I think it has to be a different enchantment, right? Yeah, it has to be another enchantment. Okay, they're on 8. Hobgoblin gives us the most. What is attacking with Den of the Bugbear? Oh, we can't. Never mind. Oh, well, we could. Hmm. 3, 1. Oh no. 4, 2, 2, 3. Is that the wildest math I've ever talked about in my life? 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm basically calculating that they can't block the whole master. This way they go to 2. We do lose a land actually, which makes takes us off of Ramonite Ruins. Maybe that's worse than making the Hobgoblin. I was like, am I getting too clever here? If we make the Hobgoblin, they get to block the Lord with no repercussions. That's basically the thinking, is that we force them to not be able to block the Lord. And we still get to like keep a board and stuff around. Interesting, interesting. Alright, catch you next game. Alright, match number 2. Get to be on the play again. Love that. Okay, no 1-drop here, but I think we keep it. Oh, hang on. What is that? That's a Yorion. Yorion says that I want to have a 1-drop in my hand. It's a pretty good chance. It also means the Goblin Chamber is probably not great. I want to send a mulligan. Immediately feel punished because we mulligan into a 1-lander. It does actually play a reasonable number of rounds for an aggro deck. We could keep 1, run it back, or we can multi 5. We know that they've mulliganed once. I'm going to take the multi 5, just try and hit 2 lands here. This looks reasonable. I'm going to kind of run stuff and keep both of these. I think on Yorion actually. I kind of like getting rid of the charges. Okay. It's a little wonky, but we'll keep it. Den of the Bugbear is actually pretty nice to draw here. I should say as well that Yorion and Zagoth Triumph implies enigmatic fires as well. This could be the same matchup. Temple Garden. Okay, they don't have a They did shock for it, but they don't have a red source. I don't think what kind of piece of interaction we're looking at here. It could be the bounce thing. The not evoke, it's just unanswered ability. We're gonna make squee. We're just gonna kind of try and do our thing. I was about to say if that's a censor, I'm gonna lose my mind. I don't know what we're playing against. Okay. Ominously, fair enough. We're still like a ton away from Enigmatic Incarnation. But they're gonna immediately be able to tier up something decent, unlike last game where they kind of didn't have it until quite late. We'll try and do our damage though. Trying to think if they have anything to tier up at 3 that's like wipes up. Oh, the Deputy Detention's pretty good. They're just gonna take Squee, which is fair. This is one of these. I'm gonna sacrifice 2 goblins to animate my mana land again. I think so, because I can't block it with the. And then next turn we maybe draw a land. See how I make me feel stupid. So you get a free block. They take how much? 1, 2. The firebrand is effectively the same as a normal goblin. I'm not losing out on much here. Alright. The issue now is they maybe have Fire's Incarnation get to kind of go off and do their thing. I think this game, if they have a Tollsmith, oh, that's brutal. Oh, it's not that brutal. It does let them... We are cards behind. Alright, we hit land, which is maybe the best draw in the deck. They can double block, we get to kill 1, but we get back squee. They can block like this, they take 3. Go to 3, fair enough. The problem is that now we have to kind of play like they just don't have anything now. They have fires, no follow-up, no shot. No. You don't have a follow-up to it. No. Oh, okay. Well, what are we gonna grab? Probably like Knight of Autumn, gain some life. We have a draw step, but we don't have any good draws. The Knight of Autumn does block then the Bugbear profitably as just a 2-1. Don't even need the counters. And the light oil puts them well out of the range of... Okay. Rally is also... and that blocks down the Bugbear. We'll take a draw step. If we have nothing, then we'll go to game 2. Yeah, that's effectively nothing. Alright. This is what the Animatic Fires deck should do. Kind of like what we did last time. We took some of these cards out. Excuse me. I think I like this setup. Dawn consideration. The thing is, I think the bolts get more coverage, and I don't want to board in like too many removal spells. I'm thinking about Rending Volley versus Obliterating Bolt, and like, oh, we could bring some Rending Volleys, because they're going to have some effects like Deputy Detention, Skyclave Apparition, that kind of thing, and those are white effects. But extra coverage on the Obliterating Bolts, I don't want to have too many removal spells, like potentially we could burn out some Flame Bay Charges. It slows us down quite a lot not having all the 1-drops. It doesn't kill Yorion either, though it does get Karuga because it's a 5/4. Right? I think that's right. I'm tempted, because these aren't doing a ton. We're playing with Fables. We're going to try this. Maybe it's a bit of it. We're building in some more resilience anyway, just to shore things up. We could play through more removal or interaction. Alright, gonna be on the play. Draw. This looks good. Banner Street Denizen. Again, the Snoop lets us start getting cards off the library. We also have a Fable. We might go Hallmaster Fable instead, depending on what they have here. If they make like a red tapped land. Ooh. Okay. I feel pretty good going, because we're going to go like Hallmaster Fable rather than like run the Snoop out. I think that's good. We can get guaranteed cards off the Snoop as well. Or if they kill like the Hallmaster with a Bone Crusher Giant, then we at least get something out of it probably. Oh well, potentially, I guess. Trying to get the most out of each card. So they led Glasspool Mimic. Oh well, Glasspool, sure. Now they have a tap land. They're gonna have something good to do on turn 3. But I don't know whether No, Fable or Squee. Squee gets the most damage, and I'm kind of down for that. The Fable, like the Scoop, will get us cards later. They don't have any interaction this turn at all, so we know we're going to get a good hit in. Just seems solid. And if they have, like, Deafening Clarion, then we get a bunch of cards off the Horde Master, at least. That almost looks like it's giving you the middle finger, that animation does. That's pretty funny. Alright, Armor of the Forge is decent. I guess rid of the Horde Master. But we'll see. I'm feeling a sample 7 damage here. Pretty. One. Yeah, we can put. My idea here is to sacrifice this and activate the Battlecry Goblin. Give them all haste plus 1%, we kill them. Make a couple of tokens too. I like this. The running volleys I'm really not overly sold on, but I think we're gonna leave them in to try them. The worry is that we get like a hand with like multiple removal spells and not enough goblins. But hey, we'll risk it. Yeah. I have one more match after this. I think we got time. On the draw seems solid. Like, we want to draw a third land so we can cast the Fable. We have a 1-drop, even if it's not our favourite thing. Like, this isn't a particularly fast start. But, assuming we get to Fable, I think we're good. Oh well, I think we should be alright. Not I think we're good. Yeah, they don't have a active thing. The Battlecry Goblin is nice with a Flyby Charger as well. Means next turn we can look at going like land, activate Battlecry Goblin. All of a sudden we're attacking with the charges as 2/1s. The Battlecry Goblin's making a token. Like it starts looking pretty good. It's that instead of Fable. I really think about it. We have a Leyline Binding here. Okay. Well, in that case, I think we'll make a Fable the Mirror Breaker. That's a good choice. It's showing adequate respect to the Battlecry Goblin. Not some extreme reaction. Ugh. Alright. Okay, no, it's a Fable rather than a Fire, which is what I was worried about. Ooh, they got on the Leyline Binding. They should take the Fable away? They are. We have Squee. This kind of trades. I'm incentivized to laser this down. It feels kind of slow. Well, it doesn't actually. It trades with these things. Depends what the hand looks like. Maybe I should go attacks. Alright, that's showing me that you don't wanna play fair. So I should kill this. If they're letting it live. Very mysterious. Yeah, I don't want them to start being able to make treasure, and then if they just naturally draw on like some good 6s or 7s, then we want to keep them off of those as long as possible. Let's see. They pitched a Fable. Okay, they have a Deputy that picks both of these up if they want to. Again, not the end of the world. Oh, the hole to grab the token is nice. Okay. Fable over Squee. Depends what we think they're gonna have. They're not at the point where they can be orienting. I can like just add Yori in yet. I'm worried about. This is just making a 2/2. Because they block the 1/1, so I think we're just gonna Fable. Keep going through our deck a bit. Now they have the Transform Reflection. Omen. Sure, sure. Gives them the 5th land, but they've still not got a Fable to mirror it. I'm gonna shoot this down. Okay. That's tough. The attack? Oh. Well, now this looks pretty interesting. Never a reflection, though, is the worry. I kind of want to get rid of the squeaks. We've got a pile of cards. Oh, we don't have a pile of cards to graveyard. They're all exiled over here. Excuse me. We have Rending Volley plus a 3 here. I want to keep this. I might. Yeah. The worst of these, and it comes back as well. The land's not a bad hit. I'm gonna do this and play like we don't have a removal spell for the Deputy Detention. And let's do that at end step. Now we get to kind of blow them up with it because they try to copy it main. Okay. New Fable. Oh, we drew Battlecry Goblin? What does that do? I don't think I want to discard. Let's just think about it. We can go play Activate Battlecry Goblin, copy Battlecry Goblin, make a bunch of goblins. Keep this in hand. The next turn, once we have a bunch of stuff in play, yeah, I'm gonna decline. I think that's better than us doing this. We can't do both. All of a sudden, it's looking fairly good. Again, the power of Battlecry Goblin. Adequate respect. Alright, with all that being said, they can find a Wrath or an Enigmatic Incarnation to go grab a big creature to kind of shut things down. Let's fade that. Damping Sphere stops us casting more than one spell a turn. Well, I mean, they have anything to play off of the Archon. This is lifelink. They can copy it. Oh, they're gonna copy one now, get some life back. Don't think that's gonna do. They did get rid of the banner, but yeah. We get him. Nice. Alright, I'll play one more match. I'll catch you there. Alright. Sniper 39. Looking for not an Enigmatic as Fire's opponent. If there's an Enigmatic Fires match, we'll grab another one. But we do on the play, don't have lands. We do have a Skirt Prospector. Which, you know, I always still mulligan this. This looks better. Because we have the Fnatic Firebrand, I'm going to get rid of the Flameblade Charger. With that being said, they've got Kefira, hard blue-white control. Okay, reasonable, I think. We've got the Snoop. I think I'm just going to make the Foundry Seat Denizen. Works out to more damage overall. They have the portable hull. Fair enough, fair enough. Gonna use the mana here, play the Snoop. Idea being, if we untap with this, like, okay, we're gonna draw a third land anyway. It's gonna be okay. I want to cast as many goblins as possible. They have another port. They have a lay down arms. Okay. Not the end of the world. Manlands are very important. And our third land is super important. This might be a tough one, though. Kind of dependent on us drawing certain cards. I'll play this first. I'm gonna run out the Hobgoblin one. Here's Absorb. Does not get absorbed. Okay. Ooh, test for discovery. Okay. Interesting. Blue white's a great choice if you're looking for a control at the minute. Whether you play a hero or not is kind of personal preference, I feel like. There are some decent creatures you can play if you would like to. But the additional laid arms has been really good. I think that mono green, like, you can struggle against some of their draws, just because some of them you just, like, you have to play different types of interaction. Squeeze a nice pickup here. The worry is a Wandering Emperor, but it's just so hard to play around. What's the situation there? Attack like this, they go Emperor. Probably either make a 2/2 or they just exile the Hobgoblin. Or 2. Yeah, okay. Gonna make squee. If they exile, if we go like attack X, and they go okay, Emperor exile, then we can like Whirler and it picks up the Chain Whirler and that's fine. But the Chain Whirler picks up the Wandering Emperor and that's okay. But I think just to be going white here anyway, they have to deal with the squee and the Hobgoblin, and they do have the Wandering Emperor. But either of the things, like whatever they pick, like we've still got a lot going on. I'm gonna exile a Hobgoblin, which leaves a squee around, which is solid. The other problem with the timing on this is that we now get to kill the Wandering Emperor, because they did it in response to the squee trigger. Bit unfortunate for them. Okay. Yeah. My plan means no Teferi, no Wrath so far. I wouldn't mind activating here. They may want to try and kill this pre-combat. They have 4 mana, so if they shark or charge, I feel they can eat it, but I think that's fine too. Yeah. Let's just go to attacks. We get our token. They have another one. Again, they've done it this way around.
Anyone who harms my people must contend with me. We must protect the people.
Here, please. They can take Squee out here. I mean, we've got no cards in our graveyard. The way this has worked out, though, I'm trying to work out. I think I play the cost splitter because these go to yard, which lets us get close to casting Squee. It's not doing a ton by itself. Like honestly, our best draw next turn if they have a Wrath is to draw a land to add to be the Den of the Bugbear. That might be our best draw anyway. But hey, we'll see. They want to find time to play a Teferi, and I do not want to give them that time. To be slightly wary of to play around Sour Lackage. We've got a Manland, we've got a Ramen Eperons. I think we actually kind of don't have to. We also have the Prospector, which means that we can put the cards that go in the graveyard into the graveyard. I've not really accounted for the Third Wandering Emperor. But that is on the cards. As things are, either holding up Bram and Apple or down to the Bugbear activation. They're on 6. One way or another, they're in a lot of trouble. Discovery. Yeah. Grand Map Ruins going to the graveyard is also the 4th card for Squee, along with these 3. So even though we're taking ourselves off of down the Bugbear mana, it just depends how this rolls out. Well, they did have the Typhoon. This card Plains of Discovery. Okay. 6 mana could also just get farewelled here. Yeah, I mean these are all going to the graveyard anyway. That's fine. Is a cast. We're incentivized to do this. This leaves them at 1. We can play and activate Battlecry Goblin. You have some stuff. Alright, here it comes. Slow down. Alright, lay down arms. Depends if they have another piece of interaction. I guess they're trying to draw to one. Yeah, Alright. We get there. This is gonna look pretty similar, but this time we just definitely don't need the removal spells. Literally bring in these. The Chain Whirlers aren't completely useless, but we value the aggressive creature a little bit more here because they've got more damage. But just like Supreme Verdicts, we're gonna get rid of Firebrand over Fireblade Charger. I think we want to do this. Chain Whirler is kind of good versus Wandering Emperor. It's the only thing. I think we just keep the. I think so. I think this is the way to roll. Alright. Send it up. Okay. So we only get to showcase like 2 different matchups. We kind of saw both halves of Enigmatic Fires. In game in the second match they got to do a lot more stuff. And here versus Blue White, we'll see how the rest of the games go. Kind of see how the Goblin decks plays in the matchup. I mean, a lot of it is like, are you just going to beat him down, right? But there are decisions, as you've kind of seen. Finishing decisions. You have some weird and wonderful lines. This looks great. We'll keep this. Okay. The thing with all the Fables and Portable Holes is that Fable kind of helps to tax that a lot. Oh, we'll leave Foundry Street Denizen. Would like to draw a 3rd land. Well, the Prospectors will maybe help. Alright. There is a Portable Hole. Fair enough. Alright. Draw land number 3. Gonna make the 2/1 drops. The power of this is that if we decide to play the Hallmaster next turn, like, if they have interaction with the Hallmaster, we can decide to be like, okay, we're gonna go do some other stuff. I would rather go to Graveyard for Squee. Life doesn't matter. Third land. So we can go. Fable here is pretty good, or we can make the Hordemaster. The Hordemaster, because we don't have a ton of stuff coming with haste. Let's play this later rather than now, I think. Yeah, I feel better about just going Fable. A little slower overall. We also need to be wary of this. So, from my kind of knowledge of Blue White at the minute, they normally play like 1 Doomscar, 1 Behold the Multiverse, and then 1 or 2 of the counter spell. It could be either of those 3. But I do want to be a little wary of the Wrath. We're getting into... Oh! I was going to say we're getting into Wandering Emperor again. So it looks like they've got a Wrath here. I think this is a Doomscar, given they've just added a Kahira to hand. I'm going to discard the Hobgoblin because it's a little awkward. And now we're somewhat incentivized at least. This, I don't mind playing out into the Wrath because it's going to draw cards. The Snoop itself will draw cards later. And if they decide to Wrath now, they don't catch to the Half of Fable. All kind of interesting. Or we might just see them make it here. Oh, I was looking towards them Doomscarring. That was my read on what it was. The other thing is if we try and use a 1-for-1 removal spell on the Hordemaster, we can. Okay. That's interesting. Now I regret discarding the Lord. Well, next time we're threatening to Reflection the Hordemaster. Does make me want to cast the Snoop is the only thing, because we have like a Lord on top. We're going to Battlecry Goblin, this looks really good for us. But I still don't want to overextend. It wasn't the Wrath. That was the thing. They do play generally like a couple of sideboard Stronghold Unleashed. Maybe I've seen it come up in the main deck. I'm going to cast this. I might pay the price here. We don't have something immediate off of it. We can get a trigger. I don't love that. I'm gonna say go. Again, the one good thing is that we draw cards off all of these. We have to basically untap, and then if they don't have interaction, then we can copy the Hordemaster. But now it's a kind of slippery slope. They've got Teferi. He's no Wrath right now. Kind of hoping they don't have an instant speed way to interact with the Reflection. Or the Hordemaster. The Hordemaster we can at least like get this mount off the top of our deck with. Alright, they're going to try and kill us. Which is wild. I think we do a lot better job of that. We'll see though. They get to untap 2 lands, they get to 3 open. We don't need to worry about Wandering Emperor, we don't need to worry about... There's a lot of things we don't need to worry about. Emperor's on top. Alright. What are you saying? I think we're just going to mount it up. We know the other Emperor's coming for direct damage this time. If they block these, they take a lot to the face. Yeah. For a penny and for a pound. Yeah. We need to talk about our library. Can we animate or... Oh, we can. So you got 1, 2... Oh, this is tapped anyway. Take some red mana. That also exiles the top card, maybe? No, it's not Goblin yet. That is. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Right. What do these look like? I think these still look pretty good for us. Not as good, admit. Yeah. Don't have life. If they want to eat things with the angels, they have to take a ton of damage on the phone. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Get another 4. That's fine, right? Yeah, we have an incident. Um, until my end of my next turn, incentivize to get these ones in play, and then make the Hobgoblin more next turn. This also triggers itself, so we get this mountain going. Alright. Yeah. Did and change the mass a little bit. We're still not dead here to the Angels. They don't have a one-sided Wrath that we've seen. Or shouldn't.
Hurry.
5. Work out if we can cast Hobgoblin Bandlord and attack with the Den. Or if if in fact we should not do that at all. They're tanking, which is maybe a good sign, maybe a bad sign. Gaska hero, so if you have like a Wandering Emperor, I think you play it now to exile the kick. Yeah, reflection. Okay. So that all makes sense. You get to go to 6. Get the reflection out of the way. Probably buys you enough time.
What you get for hurting my people.
We have this on top, but we need to do lethal damage this time. Cast this and not animate. Works. If we cast this, one of these gets 3. The rest of them don't. We don't have a way to get rid of this once it's okay. We animate this. Well, I think doing this is more interesting. We give them some decision. Yeah, the treasure after combat's tough. Maybe I should have played the Hobgoblin Lore Lester. But instead of playing 2 of these creatures. Probably not. Got a 1. Oh, that's pain. Unless... No. No way to sacrifice. Alright, I think they get us. Alright, fair. There's the Angels, which means like, okay, maybe like these are not that bad. If I had 5 mana Planeswalker, the 2 mana 5 damage Planeswalker one, obviously, then these would be better. One use case where like, hey, one count for that being an upgrade. Most of the time, running Voyage being super cheap is better. I think I'm fine where we are. Even with their like Steinheim Unleash plan, like maybe I could bring in some bolts. It does Planeswalkers as well. Like one additional use case. I think in general it's so narrow, and normally we can play through the Steinheim. We get to be on the play now as well, which I think matters quite a lot. We'll see, we'll see. That's their side plan doing its work, to be fair. Keep. It's like very reasonable. Yeah, they did take a mulligan. We'll start off with Flameblade Charger. Mo damage, mo things. Ooh, the potential to lead Goblin Warchief into Fable here is pretty powerful. I say powerful way too often. I've been noticing it a lot, and yeah. Go back to the dictionary and go find a Thesaurus. There's some real brilliant magic cards here to play. Down. Put the B down on. Alright. Goblin Warchief's a little harder than Fantanza. Like, they can lay down arms if they have another planes. Now we get to look to Fable. I think the one I do this is I lead with a Skirt Prospector. Well, I think they're playing mostly hard counters at this point. I think this is going to get absorbed, not fair play. But hey, now we get to we get to attack a bit. We can animate Manland next turn. We got our Ramonap Ruins. The verdict's good though. That is all to say. Okay. Gonna play the Wandering Emperor game. Like, they can Field of Ruin us here, but it means we're gonna get this through. Nothing to do with the mana. But we kind of have to work through it. It means they're not Field of Ruining our Ramonap Ruins for value who got multiples. We've got literally nothing else going on. But don't tell them that. Down to 11. Yeah, the 4-man land is like a really nice tool to have. To leverage. Big Taff.
I'm known for my excellent timing.
Alright. In terms of 2-man interaction, we haven't seen a ton actually. Outside of the like Portable Hole, Lay Down Arms, they've got Shark Typhoons. Ruins is not doing a lot. These are all going face. We have like a damage floating here from the Fight Flame Blade Charger because we've got the Skirt Prospector. Oh, interesting. Did not hit onto Wandering Emperor yet. Also, the one thing about main phasing them here is that we get to kind of do some things.
I'm going to end it.
And fizzle that. And they're almost dead. And the verdict is we got him. Hey. And that's it. Nice. Did we 3-0? I feel like we lost one of the animatics. I think we did win the middle of the animatics Fires game. Well, if you enjoyed the video, please do like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Again, lots of Explorers content coming your way. Brexit All vs. 1 on the horizon, a bunch of stuff there that I'm excited to play. If you've got anything particularly you want to see, I'll be doing my like kind of Explorer set review when the full card image gallery is out. But if you've got any decks in particular that you want to see me start playing with as soon as the set comes out, do let me know in the comments, as well as in general, anything you would like to see me take for a spin. On that, have a great day. Pea soup. Catch you later.